Okay, let me see. Let's have a look. Okay, we are actually live now. Yes. Okay, right. So, okay. So we are live now actually. So, okay. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope all is well and stay safe during this festive holiday season. Before I begin, I would like to thank all of you who are actually watching right now. This is a live for everyone, and everyone has a unique story to tell. Do you have one? What is your story? We would like to hear from you. So, welcome to the second edition of my live. My name is Xing, and I will be your host for today. As we know from my previous session, Josh currently runs his own driving business school, serving many migrants in Melbourne over the years. In the first part, we learned about his early years, his life and career journey back then in Malaysia before he moved over to Melbourne. We also learned about his hobbies, his favorite sports, food, holiday destination, and who his mentor is. If you have missed out on the previous session and would like to watch it, please do follow him and me on the respective Facebook, which the link is provided at the bottom of the screen. So today, in this second part, Josh will share more of his story on his migration journey. So let us put our hands together to welcome Mr. Josh Lee. So hi, Josh. I would like
Hi,
to
Shane.
thank you. Yeah, I would like to thank you for actually joining us today. So
Wow.
okay, we will like to know actually when did you migrate to Australia?
Right. Before I start my story, I would like to take a few seconds to thank you for your initiative. As I said to you previously, before this live goes on, this is something a new experience. Not many people go onto the social medium for a Facebook Go Live. So I have to congratulate you for taking up this initiative and start things like this. Right. I came to Australia, to be exact. I boarded a plane in KL on the morning of December the 2nd, 2006. So I landed here December the 2nd, 2006. It was a Friday. And it was a Saturday. Sorry, it was Saturday. So immediately I started work. I had to fly again into Canberra on the Monday. That's why I remember. So to be rough, it's like December 2006. I came to Australia, Melbourne.
Wow. So why did you actually decide to migrate to Australia?
Well, for me personally, there were two reasons. One is health. One is for my children's education. Talk about health. I remember in 2005, I had a very serious health issue. And immediately after that, when I was hospitalized, I was thinking very hard, what do I do with my life? So I decided to tone down. I decided to resign, and I just I work in a very small scale, and I decided that maybe I should look for an opportunity elsewhere to have a work-life balance. And at that time, Australia was my first choice. So I wanted to come here for the health reason, to have a work-life balance, and like I said, for my children education. Yep.
So actually, why do you actually choose Melbourne over all the other cities in Australia?
Well, like anyone else, when you come to a foreign countries, when you're new to the environment, you wanted to have someone, uh, that you know of, maybe your friends, maybe your relative, someone that you can get connected to, and someone that can show you the ropes, show you the place. For example, you talk about school, where do you send your children to? You talk about buying grocery, where do you go to? Remember, at that time there were no social media, there was no Facebook. So Facebook only came in like in 2009. So yeah, so that was the reason why we came here. We just want to have somebody that we knew of, so that people can show us where to get things done.
So, what was your profession actually before you actually migrated to Australia?
Interesting. A lot of people ask me this. As you know, I have a driving school now. My job now is a driving instructor. So a lot of people are asking me, were you a driving instructor back home in Malaysia? I said, no, 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 no. I was in the IT field, information technology field, for the before I came in 2006. From 1998 to 2006, I was a SAP consultant, ERP system. Um, and I came here. I still work about 2.5 years as a SAP consultant. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, why do you decided to switch?
Well, like I said earlier on, Australia provides a lot of opportunity. You don't really have to be a white collar worker. You can be a blue collar worker. So I decided to really look for that ultimate goal of a work-life balance. I just find that working in an IT industry, it pretty much pressure to me. You have to deal with deadlines. You have to deal with a lot of people from all kinds of industry. Uh, because we are a consultant, obviously the pressure is on us to really. When people consult us, we really have to give our best, and sometimes we have to squeeze left, right, center just to give our best in our work. So I found that kind of life not really suitable for me. So I decided to look for something else, and I was not shy to try something new. So that was the history.
Okay. This year, 2020, will go down as one of the most extraordinary year. It has changed the way we do things in what
Yeah.
we now call the new normal.
Mhm.
So, can you share with us actually what did you do during the lockdown period for the past 6 to 8 months?
Well, I have been in the driving school industry as a driving instructor for 10 years, exactly 10 years after I left my IT job. So before the pandemic, and I have established myself in this business, I'm humbly said that I have actually put a good footing on my business to provide services to the huge Malaysian communities here. And when the pandemic strikes, everything is like put on a hold, like the clock just stopped, and I have to close down temporarily my business because in driving per se, there's less than 1.5 meter between myself and the learner, so we could not operate the business even though our industry is not infected in any way, but we have to follow the government guidelines. We have to stop. And prior to that, exactly 1 year ago, I was holiday in Sydney with my family, and I think you recall that at that time, that Wuhan was having this pandemic outbreak, and I felt that at that time something is going to go wrong. So I decided to opt for look for an opportunity besides my brick and mortar driving school business. That's where I found the digital online business. And during this pandemic, I was not really put off by because of my driving school closing down. Even though I still talk to my other clients who wanted to do driving lessons and driving tests. So I told them that frankly I have to, I can't operate anymore. So you have to wait until the lockdowns ease. So at that time I put 200% on my digital business. So in terms of the emotional, the mental so-called ups and down, it's not so much of down, it's more like ups because I was able to swap my attention to my digital business, and I met so many positive minded, like-minded people that were able to keep me company online, even though I've not shake hand with them, but I knew them from online business. I've talked to them every day. They are real people from every part of the world, and that's where keep me going during this pandemic. And I can't wait to. I told myself, I can't wait to share this opportunity to many people out there, even though all the things that I am doing is a new thing, a new norm in this era.
Wow, wow, really true, amazing. You can actually foresee, right, roughly, an indication about roughly a year ago, about, what was up to happen, right? So,
Mhm.
although not exactly, but I think the fact that you realize that, we always must have a backup plan, right, in everything
Yeah.
that we do.
Mhm.
So I
Yes.
guess that, yeah, that is something, that no, well, maybe myself should also take note as well. So actually, how do you manage to find time, running these multiple businesses simultaneously? The fact that sometimes not even me myself, I mean people like us, we do have a full time job, a normal job, and but you are actually running, after that you are actually doing another one. So how do you actually manage your time? You know?
Well, Shin, first of all, I'm not in the 9 to 5 sort of a routine job. I am running my business. So that itself give me a lot of flexibility. Uh, if you work at a 9 to 5 job, you can't have that kind of flexibility. I still remember, during my 9 to 5 job, I have to wake up very early. Uh, I have to drove myself to the train station to make sure that I have enough parking. I went very early and take the train about 45 minutes to the city and go up to the office. So that journey would take like 1.5 hours. So, and during your work, you cannot have any phone. You cannot really engage in long conversation with people outside the office, except for business purposes. So, there's no flexibility. So, because of this business, it give me the flexibilities. For example, my driving school, in between lessons, I have times, whether it's 15 minutes or half an hour or an hour. I use those time to actually run my other business. So it could be a simple go live Facebook live interview. So that take up about 15 minutes. So all this, time that I use up, add up together, it could be easily like 2 3 hours in a day. So I use those gap to run my business besides my driving school. So the flexibility is there because the business is mine. I do it the way I want. I schedule the way I want it.
Wow, that's the beauty of your digital business, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's actually flexible, and I guess that you can actually work anytime, and
Yep.
also I guess that is it anywhere in the
Yep.
world?
Anyway, yes. Basically, most of the time I spend in the car. Sometimes when I have long breaks, then I go down to McDonald's. Use up the Wi-Fi there, have a peace of mind. Have my lunch. Maybe talk to my business partners from all over the world. So yeah, basically everywhere and anytime.
Wow, that's amazing, amazing. Wow, I could actually learn a bit of stuff from you today. So, what is the one skill or lesson that you actually acquired or learned actually during this lockdown?
Can you repeat the question again? I didn't quite hear
Now,
you.
what is the one skill or the lesson that you actually acquired or learned during this period of lockdown? What do you actually get out of it?
Right. The thing that I get out from it, it's the dare, the dare to come out from your comfort zone. You know, the the dare to try new things, because when new things comes in, it's not easy. You have to evolve in it. You have to let it gradually develop, and once it's developed, and then you can actually, find a breakthrough. So I shall say that, one of the things I learned is, you dare to come out of your comfort zone, you dare to change. That is something that I learned. For example, like I said it again, you and me now on the social media, talking to each other, this is something that is a new norm in this era. So we dare to change, we dare to try. It will, it will be unsettled for a while. You have to grapple with it, you have to evolve it, and even once it's settled, a breakthrough will come.
Okay, right. So actually, now that the restriction has slowly
Mhm.
easing, actually, what was the first thing that you did? No, actually, when it was start to the restriction started to ease. I mean, what was the first thing that you did?
Like everyone else, the first thing we did was we went out for lunch and dinner for one whole week. Because
Wow.
we are just wanted to try outside food rather than home cooked food. So, but more to the fact that we wanted to go out so that we meet people, meet people, hear their stories, talking to them. It's so refreshing rather than locked inside your house. So that was what we were trying to do. So not only for meal, more like going out there, have a fresh air, talking to people, hearing about people's stories, and sharing with people's the ups and downs. Yeah.
I see, I see, I see. Okay, right. So now that we are actually coming towards the end of the year to 2020, so
Mm-hmm.
next year is actually the start of the 2021, a new year. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, what is your actual your plan for next year?
Well, for me, the new year starts immediately after the pandemic. Why after the lockdown has eased? Why I said that is because the business has picked up, in a very furious pace. The driving school business, like as well as the digital business, because after the pandemic lockdown, I have all the previous clients who were not able to sit for their driving test, all coming back in, like in a huge line, and I just couldn't cope, and I have to assign it to my other instructors and plan it properly, and for those learners or customers or clients who who are not in an urgent sitting for their driving test, I actually told them to say, let's work on it next year. You come back to me. So it has been uh, the business has been booming for the driving school. For 2021, what I hope that is that I will also at the same time spend more time on my digital business, so I have a balance of my driving school and my digital business. And I hope next year at some point I can spend more time on digital business and let the digital business become my full-time business, and slowly wind down on my driving school. Because at this juncture of time, with this pandemic coming in and going away and coming back, I think online digital business uh, is the way to go, and working at home, and rather than go out there and risk yourself with your health, it's one thing that people will be looking for in the future. So 2021, I hope to get my digital business really on track, and be able to balance my two businesses, and hope that my digital business will go on the out front, and I would slowly tone down on my driving school business.
Okay, as we are actually coming close to the this session, do you have any no, any final thing to say? I mean, to share with us before we actually no, end this live?
Well, I would like to say those words that I said before. That is, we must dare to walk out of our comfort zone. We must dare to try something new. And this things that is new, for example, my digital business, it is not something like a money drop out from the sky. You still have to work on it. So initially, you will have a lot of things to work on. Let it evolve. You have to grapple with it, and then it will soon settle down. And when it settle down, then there will be a breakthrough. So this is what I use these statements to, as a metaphor for me in my new digital business. So for people out there who are working professionals, who are business owner, who are sole breadwinner of your family, and who are new migrants, it's you're coming to a hard times. You might, some of them, their business is slow to pick up, and I know that working professionals, sometimes they have their salaries, cut. There's a reduction in the salary. There's a pay cut in their salary. So my advice is those people that you need to dare to change, dare to come out of your comfort zone, dare to do things that you have never done before, and looking for another platform to get a better of your life. That's what I'm doing now. Even though I'm humbly said that my driving school has a good footing in Melbourne, but I think with the pandemic in mind, it's not something that is secure. So I hope it will be secure, but it's not something to be secure. I seriously feel that we need to look out for opportunity that would last us for a lifetime. Like in this online digital business, you can work everywhere, and it's not a scam. Once you work on it, and the most important thing is you meet like-minded, positive people out there that would actually help you to uplift your spirit, and so you have a business with you, with the good community, things will go far. That's my advice.
Okay, right. All right. I am sure by now many of us have already get to know George much more better compared before the start of this session. So due to the time constraint, I do not have the time to ask Josh any more further questions. However, if you would like to know more and find out more about what Josh himself is doing, do follow him on his Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I am sure that he will definitely be happy to hear from you. So thank you, Josh, and everyone for watching my live. If you do like this live, please remember to share and let your friends know. So finally, please follow me on my Facebook, Sheng Chu. The link is provided at the bottom of the screen, and also so that you will know when will I go live next. So I will see you all in the next edition. So until then, Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a good weekend ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye bye.